Hey, this is Matthew Harvey here with the 12 o'clock siren, recording live at the 903 Broadband Studios at Cowboy Corner on the southeast side of the downtown Leonard Square. On my left hand is James Avery Hartley.
James Avery, huh? All right.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah. I bought one of those rings this
Probably
year.
been there a few times for your mom?
And my wife, yeah.
And your wife?
Yep.
Picked up a jewel for their charm bracelet or something like that?
That's pretty accurate.
Right on.
That's a good guess. Are you a mind reader?
Yes.
Hey, so I heard something about a coronavirus vaccine. Do you think the anti-vaxxer people will get one if they come out with one?
It's a tough call.
You know, I kind of hope they don't. I hope they stick
It's
to
weird.
their guns.
It's crossing lines. You know, pro-choicers are now like, hey, it's my body.
Yeah, right. Or pro-lifers.
Or pro-lifers,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's blurring a lot of political lines.
It is. It's funny.
This is episode 20.
Episode 30, I think.
Is it 30?
Yeah, I think Pugs was 29.
You're right.
Yep.
Episode 30. We've got two gentlemen here, known in the Leonard, Texas community, Mr. Randy and Aaron Branscome.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Listen to that applause.
Yeah, you bet.
Overwhelming. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Hanging in there in the weird times?
Yeah.
Probably sick and tired of talking about them?
Things are strange.
Yeah.
Things are strange.
Unforeseen territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were talking a little bit prior to the show that y'all are doing pretty good, though, because people are staying at home and eating, so they need groceries.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Rolling pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of customers.
I went to Bluebonnet the other day,
Yeah.
Bluebonnet Meat, and I had to wait in line.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, business is good for these folks. So that's
I
good.
think my wife may have got a toilet paper roll from behind the counter up there.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. it's like
We're having
private stock
pretty
now.
hard limits on everybody just to get it spread around. But,
Yeah. Well, that's good.
yeah,
Everybody
we're
gets
getting a lot of
bit.
people from a lot of areas.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen some from Frisco, Prosper,
Yeah.
Sherman,
Just come all the way out,
Greenville,
see if they can find
Quinlan.
an N95 mask and some
Traveling
TP.
around picking up things.
Quinlan, Dallas, everywhere.
Wow.
We're getting them all. So.
Cool. Well, the Branscome name is on the grocery store there in Blue Ridge as of lately. You guys have been around here for a long time. Randy, what's your story with Leonard, your relationship?
Well, I started to school here, I guess, in 58 or 58, maybe.
Were you born here, or did you move in?
No, I was born here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Born in the Wolf City Hospital.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's our first.
And what year was that, if you don't mind me asking?
52.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the guys in my class were born in the hospital in Wolf City.
Cool.
That's our first Wolf City Hospital reference, I think.
I think so. I've not heard of that yet.
Or I missed it.
Yeah.
So you started, you said, in 58 or so? Started
Yeah, I
school
think
here?
so,
And
yeah.
went all the way through and graduated?
Yeah. Finally got out.
Who were some of the folks in your class?
Let's see. Ricky Smith. Everybody knows Ricky Smith. And James Peake. Billy Hallmark. Barry Pearson. Randy Ross.
How big a class was it?
I think we ended up graduating with, I think, 28,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
How many did you have, Aaron?
Graduated, I think we were 42.
42. I think I was
We
50.
were 53.
59, I think, for me in 02.
Steady growth there.
Yeah, it is. Steady climb.
Big thriving metropolis we have out here. So you graduated. What year did you graduate?
71.
71. What'd you do right after graduation?
After graduation, I was working for my dad on the dairy part-time. I worked in Sherman at Grumman, where Olson Bodies, they called it, where they made the bread trucks and things like that. Worked there a little while, and then worked for my father-in-law a little while, painting houses. And
You remember that day?
yeah, yeah. And ended up working at Louis and Lavender Wholesale Grocers for a little while. $2.10 an hour.
Nice.
I think that's about to go back there.
Yeah,
That's actually what I made the last time I've made a paycheck. $2.13.
yeah.
No. Is that what kind of got you into the grocery business?
Starvation mostly. Yeah. When I was helping my father-in-law, Doris Pate, he was good friends with the fellow that owned the store in Blue Ridge, and so we did a little work for him. And I needed a steadier paycheck, so I kind of put in a little extra effort there. And,
Sure.
And he hired me. And,
Did you say Doris Pate?
Doris Pate.
Were they my neighbors by chance?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. They lived around
Pates,
Snow Hill.
Pates lived right next to us.
Really?
Anyway, so sorry. Figured that was
I don't know.
related.
So they hired you at the grocery
Yeah.
there in Blue Ridge?
Yeah, I worked there a couple of years, and my boss was getting hard to live with. And y'all remember when Jaws came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I would open for him, he would come in later, and I would turn the radio off of the. Back in those days, we just had like 2 FM stations.
Sure.
One of them was, I think, was KSCS,
Yeah.
and crying, divorce songs, and
Oh, man.
so one day I changed the station, and the theme from Jaws came on, and I turned it up a little bit, and he and I were at a breaking point, and he came back there and changed channels right in the middle of my good song. So I said more than I should, and
That was about it.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
Hightailed it.
I got to go Saturday night. So anyway, he was going to sell the store eventually, and some fellows from Princeton bought it, and we went back to work for them. My wife and I did. Worked there another year or so, and one of the guys wanted to buy the other guy out, so it came up for sale, and we bought it.
Cool.
And later on bought the building and remodeled it. And
And when was that?
that was in '76 when we bought it.
Wow.
And we kept it till '95 and sold it. And then built a new store in '02?
Oh, 05.
'05, yeah. Yeah. We built a donut shop in the meantime. There.
Very cool.
Melissa.
Y'all are the second grocers we've had on.
That is. I was just thinking that a little bit ago.
We had Arvis on,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
8th episode or something
I
like
think
that.
so. Pretty early on.
We had a good chat with him
Yeah.
about small town, grocer, stuff. Obviously B&B. You guys have a relationship with him?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Good fellas.
We had a good old time with him.
Yeah.
And that was that store in this building, you said?
Yeah, well,
For a portion of that?
we bought the fixtures out of this store when it burned in '78, somewhere in,
This building.
yeah.
Yeah,
in this
I've been tearing up all that
Yeah, I noticed that.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Did you see it in there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I did.
I'll show you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mess in there. And Aaron, I call you Branscome. Aaron came by a while back and said he might have had something to do with some of the actual work in there, or knew about where it came from.
Yeah. Well, we came and hauled off everything that was in here pretty much, and cleaned it up and used it in the old store downtown in Blue Ridge.
Cool. Very cool.
So what was it like growing up, graduating in the early 70s? What was Leonard like as compared to now? I mean, it was a little bit, sometimes it seems like in the people we've interviewed, it's been a little bit busier at times than it is now. Like the square's kind of deserted.
Can you speak to the rough side of the rough south side?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in 68, 69, I think I was 14 when I got my driver's license, and I think I got an old truck around 16. And when we first started kind of riding around up here in the afternoons and at night, it was so busy, just cars everywhere, kids
Right.
everywhere, and seems like that's just slowly gone away over the years.
Did you ever look at that in like the late 90s or the early 90s and go, yeah, did you drive through town and see like kids doing it? Because they were doing that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were all hanging out on the square from
yeah,
time
a little
to time.
bit, but it seans like it just
Probably
got,
not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably speaking a lot bigger
Yeah.
numbers.
yeah, big numbers.
Yeah.
Cool cars.
How many you talking about?
Oh, you'd see 20 or 30 cars
Yeah.
running around, and
Yeah. So probably 40, 50 people.
yeah, meet each other on the strip, on the drag, going
Yeah.
out to the highway.
Well, I found out, I'm still upset about this. My blood pressure gets up. We were talking about it the other day, how kids don't do that anymore. We drive, like Matthew and I'll drive through the square pretty late on a Friday night and go, where are the kids?
I know.
There is a curfew, and it's being enforced. Apparently, there was a curfew when we were in school, too. It just wasn't enforced. Yeah. And because we had we had the Knucklehead folk on, and their daughter, who just recently graduated, was like, yeah, there's a curfew. Like it was just a known thing.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. I was like, man, that is a rite of passage to get to go out and hang out. That should be a parental decision, not a state decision.
Especially drive at 14, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of the rule then, though, wasn't it? I mean, I think my dad got his at 14.
Yeah, well,
he was
driver's
at
ed,
52.
Get them at 14, yeah.
I got a little more experience on the farms and such.
Yeah, yeah. I had a 63 Ford pickup unibody. I think it was 63. Now it's a classic, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know a man that had a 69 Roadrunner that bought it for like $3,700 brand new and, you know, sold it a few years later and really wished he'd have had it now.
Sure.
You know. Aaron, how did you get, I mean, I'm guessing growing up with your dad in the business, you probably just started working for him when it was time to get a job, huh? Or,
He didn't give me a whole lot of choice.
yeah. It's just like, hey, come in one day. You got to be here after school, huh?
Oh, yeah. And went to school, from kindergarten all the way to the end of 7th grade in Blue Ridge. So,
Did you really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We'd get a little older, we'd walk to the store, but otherwise my mom would come get us. But we'd go there, and on truck day, we'd stay and stock the groceries and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Sack and run register and just whatever he'd have us do.
Did you pay him?
They got to eat.
No, that's right. Room and board.
Yeah,
huh?
room and board.
It was fun. You get to see everybody in town, you know, and
That's community right there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You got your own built-in community.
yeah, every now and then you get to sneak out on the sidewalk and run around the square, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well, it was kind of the same at B&B, you know, a whole bunch of people from Leonard worked at B&B, and it was kind of, you know, you go there, see your friends for a little bit, talk,
Yeah.
grab a Coke or whatever.
Did y'all have the comic rack? B&B always
no,
liked their
didn't.
comic rack.
Had a magazine rack
We-
there at
yeah.
one time.
A couple of times we had
I
magazine
don't think it
racks.
had comedy on it.
Yeah.
Comics on there.
Guns and Ammo and Trucking
I'll tell you what you
Magazine.
have right now that I really dig is the root beer selection.
Yeah. Y'all have a good,
Do you know that?
like, boutique soda selection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got all kinds of like weird, alien slime and, some like
Cream sodas.
cream, yeah, off cream.
Yeah, nostalgic
Yeah,
style
yeah.
drinks. Matter of fact, we need to get restocked on.
Yeah,
Are they pretty
Well,
good
that's
sellers?
what I was getting at.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're great sellers. I mean, kids just
That
love
seems
them.
like that's exactly what I'm saying. Like if I was running around like in Prosper, I grew up there for a little bit. I remember going to this little bitty mom and pop shop just to get a little Coke, and that's like that. They got the soda fountain here, but going to get a root beer at a little shop like that's great.
Yeah, you don't see it everywhere.
Yeah.
I think there's only one company in Dallas that stocks that stuff. So we go down there and get a load of it and bring it home.
Yeah.
Not, but
Kudos.
Every
Kudos
time I
on
go
that one.
through Blue Ridge, because sometimes I go 69 to Trenton and to McKinney, and then sometimes I take the back way and I go through Blue Ridge. And every time I stop at your store, I get one of those in
Yeah, they do.
I think I
particular.
showed you that, didn't I?
You did. You did.
Yeah.
they got some wild names.
Yeah.
Bacon, fried bacon soda.
Yep.
And all that.
Yep. Go in there
Stuff
for
like
some weird root beer flavors.
Uh-huh.
So you went from kindergarten through 7th grade or so in Blue Ridge, and then transferred to Leonard. You
Yes.
graduated here. Obviously, that was what 95 or so.
96.
96.
Graduated 96. Yeah.
You go to school, and then soon started. Didn't you go to school with the donut store? Worked in there.
Well, yeah, we were in.
You had a cool story. You were telling me about how you're just overnighting it and school during the day. I think something like that.
Well, no, I was already out of high school when we started that. I was going to Grayson County.
Yeah, college classes.
So when we built the donut shop, which was in what year?
02?
No,
Must have been about then. I remember I was driving into McKinney every day.
2000
and
or
kind of
2001.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
was it like
Yeah,
was that at the portable building?
Yeah,
Right there?
Sugar
Okay,
Babes.
yep.
kind of watched that
Yeah.
get built, going to school every day.
Yeah,
It was kind of
Yeah.
fun watching that thing.
we built that with old farm trucks.
Yeah.
That's what we were driving at the
Yeah.
time.
Nice.
Not necessarily legal, but we made it there and back.
Sure.
But yeah, he
Melissa's changed a lot since then, obviously.
Oh yeah.
What was that endeavor like, getting into that?
Well,
Wasn't much problems. We just did a land lease and we went up to Oklahoma and looked at the buildings that they were building, and so they came down and built one, and we bought our equipment out of Oklahoma City, didn't we? And wasn't too bad. We trained down at Wills Point
So y'all
For a
did
while.
a training, huh?
Yeah, we
Man.
did training.
Yeah, he had a friend in the business, and
Cool.
Yeah.
they trained us for free, really.
Yeah, just come work.
Yeah, come work.
Yeah.
Got to get to Will's Point by midnight.
Right. Ooh. Is that what time they start showing up? About midnight?
Yes. He taught us to let the dough rise 3 times. We'd let it rise in the pot, then we'd take it out, knock it down, and break it into 3 sections, make it loaves, and throw a towel over it and let it rise again, and then finally cut it,
Right.
put it in a proofer, let it rise one more time, and then fry it.
So it's pretty work intensive then.
Yeah.
He would get there at about 12:30, and then I'd show up about 1:30 to start
Right.
frying. And yeah, it
Well,
was a long night.
let me tell you too. I'll be honest. Like we grew up with Greg and Rosie's here, and I loved Greg and Rosie's.
Yeah.
And there's been kind of a paradigm shift in the donut world. There seems to be kind of one central theme in it, and I feel like no matter what donut store you go to in the strip malls and stuff, they all kind of taste the same, and I really miss that because I'm
Uniqueness.
I'm a big donut fan, and you can go somewhere like Round Rock Donuts and get a donut that's not just off the shelf Krispy Kreme or whatever, but I miss Greg and Rosie's, and now Sugar Babes or the new building over there seems to be doing pretty good too. I stopped through there not too long ago, so. There's my donut
I picked up
rant.
many donuts at Sugar Babes back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a good little drive-through.
It was. How long did y'all stay in that business?
3 years.
I think 3 years. Yeah.
Got tired of them midnights.
Well, it's if that's what you and your wife, like Greg and Rosie did,
Right.
then you're on one schedule. But if your wife's on the day shift and you're on the night, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
And it gets old, and
Just pass each
you
other in the
kinda
halls.
zombie your way through life. All
Mhm.
the events
Yeah.
happen during the day or school events, and you're just kind of there with one eye open. It's not
Yeah.
like I said. If you and your wife are on that side of the clock, then that's one thing. But
I think even Greg and Rosie got burnt out on it. I mean, that's why they eventually
Yeah.
sold.
it's a
so.
tough shift. I mean, it's a tough shift.
Did y'all know them?
Yeah.
Whatever
Did you
happened
keep
to
up with them or anything, or know anything about them?
No, I haven't anymore. I
Yeah.
don't know where they went, what they're doing. But yeah, we had a lot more. We'd sell them a lot of pig in the blankets. They'd line
Yeah.
the trucks all the way back to Kim's Corner.
That's
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Actually, Melissa Beverage on our side of the
Wow.
road. They'd be lined up all the way. By 5 in the morning, they knew they could stop about 5.
What's the craziest late night drive-through you got?
We had
Probably got some drunks, I'm sure.
we had one guy that'd come through pretty regular, and he had some kind of medical issue, and he'd go to sleep.
Like narcolepsy.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
drive-through, and we'd have to go out there and wake him up
Jeez,
and
man.
get him on through there. And
Well,
I'll take an eclair.
the craziest thing that happened is we heard a big boom, and so we looked out front, and here come a rolling ball of fire straight
no.
at us. Well, it was a front wheel off of a rock truck, and it was on fire. I guess the brakes overheated and whatever, it caused the tire to explode, and it come off of the truck. And
Jeez.
here comes the truck, skidding, sparks going everywhere. Well, here comes this rolling tire.
Right at the building.
Yeah, so I run out the back door, and thank goodness it kind of started going toward behind us, and it came, I don't know, 2 foot from behind our back porch, and ran off in the woods.
Busy stretch of road there.
Yeah, it's. I was pretty nervous.
Yeah,
bet.
I'd have had to go
this
home and get a
tire's,
change of clothes.
3 foot tall, and it's on
Man.
fire.
And it's 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
We used to trade beers for donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been guilty of that.
That's where I was trying to go with that one.
Yeah, I certainly
I've given
have.
Rosie a few, Rosie and Greg,
Yeah,
a few
whatever's left in the
Coors
cooler.
Lights or half a bottle of vodka, maybe.
Depending on the quality of beer you had,
But-
just what
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much you got.
Yeah, I bought lunch or breakfast for everybody one morning.
Yeah, man.
That's just small town life.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So what'd y'all do right after getting out of the donut business? Just focus on the grocery store, or because were y'all running that simultaneously, or
no, we were beginning to think real serious about the grocery store, and then we kind of got the ball rolling a little bit, but it took a little while to get it up and going.
Yeah, I took over a tree service there. My cousin had a McKinney and did that for several years, and made a lot of money at it. But it'll beat you up.
Yeah.
You know, and even that'll.
It's hot work too.
It's hot work
or cold.
and you know, you cut a big tree over somebody's house. It's not like you can put somebody up there. You know, I kind of had to do it all myself. You know, one little log goes through a roof, you're looking at quite a bit of money. So I just kind of did it all myself, most that I could, and it beat me up pretty good. So I told Dad, I said, we might have to think about that store. I don't know how long I can do this, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Some a little closer to ground.
yeah. So we were eating at Steak Country when McKinney had Steak Country.
Oh man,
And
that's the first Steak Country reference.
That is.
R.I.P.
And a lady in town approached us and was like, would y'all please, you know, just think about it. So we kind of hem-hawed around, I don't know, a few months, I guess. And
So, well, explain that dynamic to me then, right? So y'all had a store in Blue Ridge, and then you sold it,
Yeah, we sold it in 95.
and then I'm guessing it quit at some point.
Yeah.
So Blue Ridge was without a grocery store, I'm guessing.
Yeah, eventually the fellow that owned the convenience store bought out the grocery store and closed it. So
people were having to come.
so
to,
all they had was a convenience store
Yeah.
at that time. And
people were having to go to Farmersville or
Yeah.
something to.
McKinney.
Yeah.
So they're begging you.
Yeah, they were kind of desperate, you know. So anyway, we thought about it and kind of figured things out a little bit, and
Get you off that roof.
kind of just tried to see if we could make it work, or you know, swing it really.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, it's usually time and money that's the big, you know, the barriers to entry. So
that was the hardest part. Just kind of waiting around on things to come around to where it'd line up to where the money would come around and to kick it off. You know,
Sure.
that was the hardest thing, because you couldn't really go commit to a job or anything else, because you know, you're planning on this thing coming around. They kept telling you, you know, oh, just 2 months. Well, it'd turn into 6 months, and six would turn into a year. And so
Right.
I think we waited
Money out.
2 years on that.
yeah,
for
well, you got hurt during that period too.
I broke my neck in 2003.
I'm unfamiliar with
I
that
don't remember
story.
that. Well,
You don't remember that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, we was up there at the lake.
I vaguely do remember something about this.
Yeah,
now.
it was
Yeah.
2003. And but anyway, so I mean, who's going to hire that guy? You
Right.
know, but anyway, we learned to walk again and got strength back a little bit. And we still had to wait a little bit longer on the bank to come
Yeah.
around, though. I mean,
Yeah,
it took a
about a
long
year.
time.
yeah.
So
Was it a boating thing?
no, we were wrestling around. My cousins and I were wrestling around, and
Right.
I don't know. He had me in a bear hug, and I
Just
don't
what-
know. I don't know if he dug his chin in the back of my neck or whatever, but I took 2-3 steps and just kind of fell. It just collapsed.
So it was just kind of a freak thing.
yeah,
that-
it was. Even the doctor said it's kind of a freak thing. We
Right.
we don't really see this, but but yeah,
strong chin.
I think
Yeah, right.
I think it took a month of rehab in the hospital to get out, and then
Yeah.
how long? Probably 3 months to kind of get
Yeah, at least.
Steady.
3 or 4 months to get back on my feet. Really, you know.
Yeah, that happened on a Sunday, and it was about 10 o'clock before I got to the hospital, and there he was in his swim trunks, laying on a table with or he had a halo on his head. Scared me to death.
Oh,
I bet.
imagine.
Oh,
rough
remember
night.
that. We can talk lake stories later.
Oh yeah, we got, me and Matthew, we got plenty of them.
Are y'all excited about this new lake coming in? I'm kind of excited to see what it's like. I drove up there the other day. It is huge.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Drove up there?
Yeah,
Cool.
my parents and my wife and I, we just took a drive after church and went to see it, and it blew my mind. Like,
I hear they're going to open up the state parks Monday.
yes,
Is that right?
they
Oh, yeah.
are.
So
Yep,
everybody
day
can
use
go back
only.
to camping.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yep. You got to have a reservation though. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So in a few more weeks, they'll probably lighten that up a little bit. I imagine.
It's coming. I mean, here's the deal with all this going on. Texas isn't New York. We're not all stacked on top of each other,
Right.
and you know, so we've
Thank
had
goodness.
2 cases here in Fannin County, and I think they're on the mend. So, I mean, Fannin County ought to open up.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, take precautions if you
careful.
can. Just be careful. You know,
Yeah.
don't kiss any strangers. You know,
Try not to.
try not to. Sorry, Matthew. Did I?
We got a goofy cat wandering around in here. Snuck in.
What do
I've got
Sorry
one
about
story about the old store, and I guess it was around 90. My brother and I and a couple other guys formed up and poured a new front sidewalk. It was beautiful. So I had to build a bridge over it for the customers to come in and out, you know. So hadn't had any instances at all. And Gigi Perry and Justin, you guys know Justin?
Yes, sir.
Started to cross that bridge, and Justin took that foot and stepped off that bridge and mashed a big hole in that fresh concrete.
And you said, Justin,
We've had him on the show, actually.
Yeah, I could have killed him.
we were almost there.
Almost made it.
What's the biggest? What's the word I'm looking for? Being a business owner in a small town. What's kind of some of the what keeps you up at night? You know, I mean, what are some of the sort of things y'all see as just I don't even know what the word I'm looking at. Just concerns as a small business owner in rural.
Well, you're always concerned with not enough foot traffic in the door.
Sure.
You know, Blue Ridge is a lot smaller than Leonard, so.
Oh yeah.
I'd say it's even smaller than Trenton. The footprint it's pretty small, but our countryside's filling up pretty quick.
Sure.
So we're gaining, but
Are y'all seeing some of that?
yeah.
Seeing people you don't
Yeah,
know?
when we first opened in 05, I'd say that I knew 3/4 of the people, old locals. But now I might know 1/4 of the people that come in that door.
Yeah.
They're just
That's a big difference.
yeah. They're a lot of them moving out, a lot of them dying out, and but there's just so many moving out to the countryside nowadays.
McKinney fringe move,
just
spread
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, moving from we had one lady come in today. She was from Ladonia, and we had a guy move in from Sulphur Springs. I mean, they're just coming. They're coming toward the metroplex.
Yeah.
So
You're on a nice little commuter road too.
yeah,
Get a lot of traffic in from going into McKinney.
But that and honestly, just credit cards.
Yeah.
Credit cards is a killer to a small business.
Yeah.
And
Just because
they're
of the financing charge?
And transaction fees.
swap fees.
Yeah.
The fees they're hard.
Yeah.
And that's probably been the number one thing I would say. That's
It's an interesting answer. I like that.
That's been a tough.
I had
tough
mine up
road.
every year, and I'm like, good God, man, these guys just make a killing. And
Yeah,
God
and-
knows how it is in your case,
And
especially
a
with small charges, huh?
Small town or small business, you don't have a whole office to fight those guys.
Yeah.
You don't have CPAs going up against them and the lawyers and everybody. So you're just on your own, really.
Yeah.
So it's a hard uphill fight, really. So I would say that'd probably be
Yeah.
the number one thing that bothers me.
Does debit cards do that? Or is debit cards all right?
Cards are cards are cards.
Oh,
All
okay.
cards
They all
charge a percent.
yeah,
and if
they
you're getting a
all-
lot of points on them, that means you're getting screwed really
on
hard.
the credit side, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll swap for points.
It's an
and things
interesting
like that, but
standpoint from the consumer because nobody knows that.
They won't
They
tell
just
you
look
that.
at those points. They don't say it's all being pawned off on the
Oh, well, see, that's good
on
to
the
know.
merchant.
I'll use my credit or debit card at Spring Market, but if I come to y'all, I'll use cash.
There you go.
That's good.
Well, I mean, or
That's a
any
good
small
way, yeah.
business.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
That's
So-
actually good advice.
yeah. I mean, if especially in the wake of this coronavirus stuff and the economy and trying to stimulate the economy and trying to support local small business, then pay cash, guys. You know?
Well, and the kids nowadays, that's all they know is the card. So when they come in, they'll buy one candy bar, swap the card. Well, that card, I think at the end of the last time I added them all up, was about 53 cents a swap.
Right. And your
You know,
profit margin on a candy
Yeah.
bar might be 60 cents or something, right?
if
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're just better off just to pay me later.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Got to be careful with that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When I started Quick Check back in like '98, I think we had just tabs of, people's tabs they've run up for God knows what.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any store doing that anymore. Do you guys do
Yeah.
that anymore?
No.
No,
Lack of
it's-
integrity now,
that's-
man.
that's
When
a-
we first
That's
started,
a
we
bad
did,
habit
but
to get into, and I couldn't believe it existed at that point.
They all sooner or later they wiggle out of it. You know,
oh yeah.
It's just
or it gets
hard
thrown
to-
away, or you're
yeah.
not. I mean, nobody.
Yeah.
This is before a lot of the technology came around.
Right.
Obviously.
I worked up at the
Things
mobile,
changed.
and we did the same thing. And we also, when we took the credit card, we had that, the old school carbon copy.
Yep.
You know, that went the way of the dodo a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you can't exist without the credit card processors, and it's hard to get away from those fees.
Right. Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
much you
it's
can
a-
do.
a double-edged blade. You know, you got to have them, but it costs.
Yeah.
Now, how often are y'all dealing with like, y'all have like sales reps always hitting y'all up for stuff? Like I sell technology, so I'm always hitting businesses up. Do y'all have different vendors and different people that are always?
Not as much as when we started.
Really?
The business is getting tighter.
Sure.
Especially for an independent.
Yeah.
So, we used to get a lot of reps out, a lot
Sure.
of food reps, pick sweet, frozen vegetables. You don't see those guys anymore.
Wow.
Anybody could come out and promote. We had a None Better dog food rep. They were there once a month.
Wow.
They're non-existent. I mean, it's just the middleman brokers are about gone.
Sure.
Really. So.
Sure.
Mom and pop businesses are just about gone.
Yeah, I was curious how that works when you see, you go to Home Depot or Bear Creek or whatever, and you see these like tomato seedlings, they're in the 6-pack of tomato plants. Where do those come from? I know some people used to grow them and sell them to these little stores, but I bet there's not many mom and pop shops doing that anymore either.
No.
So
Corporation
just
does
do it. Yeah. I'm pro business, and I don't hate big business by any means, but it's kind of hard to fight them. Though,
It is.
Well,
there's, us and Majors in Trenton, it's really the only ones left
right.
as far as independents go. So.
Yeah.
Closest around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is there a little one in Whitewright? That's a spring.
No, it's a spring
No,
market.
it's
Taking
spring
over.
market. It's
Corporation.
Yeah.
I thought there was another one. Was there a Majors there or something like that?
Majors in Trenton.
Trenton.
Yeah,
He's
Not
talking
Whitewright.
about Pettit's.
Oh, Pettit's was downtown.
Is that Whitewright?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, just us two's hanging on.
Yeah.
But it's worked. This through this virus thing, these corporate stores are bound to their own warehouse. So when they run out of food, they're just sitting ducks. Well, Dad and I would load up in the trucks and we'd head to Dallas and get our own meat, get our own produce.
Go down there
in
to the
between
farmer's
our
market.
in between our loads. So if we get a load in on Thursday, we'd take off Wednesday morning and go get the load for the day, and we would stay stocked. So eventually everybody learned that, and that's why we've been so busy through all this, and
Right.
it's done well. for us.
That's a good point. You guys do like supplemental loads for like
Yeah.
all the time, or just in times
No,
like this,
just,
or
just times like this, you
Yeah.
know. But
is that a way to cut costs or anything? But can you even pick up your own stuff like that?
well,
Depends
I
on
mean,
what it is, I guess.
got to spend some time in the store, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can't just stay on the road all the time. But
Right.
but the thing is, our warehouse hung in there pretty good. They really did. I expected a lot worse, but
What were the major outages?
we had to, for the first time in Blue Ridge history, I imagine that we had to put limits on everything.
Yeah.
Or especially meat. We cut all day long and looked over, and a guy's got 12 2-pound packages of meat.
Yeah.
We just can't keep up with that.
Yeah.
There's only two of us back there. So, but anyway, we held up pretty good, I think, and the public responded to it, especially from people from Sherman driving down, saying that
Cool.
we heard you, the guys, are the only one that had meat. So we were.
Wow.
Cool.
That's
So,
cool.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Aaron did an amazing job keeping it stocked. He really did.
Well, how do you develop those relationships? Like, I don't know how it works. And, like, do you buy from local cattle producers or Supreme Farms? I mean, like, how does that work?
Well, no, we usually stick with our warehouse and have a sister company called Freedman's Meats, and it's a national brand, so it's
Sure.
a really good brand. So steaks are always usually pretty good quality. So
Yeah.
so we get most of our meat there, and then Mineola packing out of Mineola. We get some from them, but
Sure. But it's not like you're going down the street and buying from Billy Bob.
no.
Just
No,
take a chance at
Probably-
that.
Probably pretty limited on what you can, on who you can buy from.
Well, it has to be USDA inspected.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that it has to be killed and inspected. So Bluebonnet has their own inspector, so they can roll every day. So that's great.
They were on our show too.
Yeah.
We talked to Hannah,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
episode 3, I believe.
I know there's a big controversy out there right now with the meat packing industry, though, because you start to see the prices of beef go up at the store, but beef producers aren't seeing, like at the sale barn, they're not seeing those prices go up. I mean, you probably know about that, Randy.
We're holding our calves now,
Yeah, because
waiting for something to happen.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of the groups I follow on Facebook, maybe I'm wrong in this, but they're clamoring for like some congressional interaction, and I'm like, I don't know if that's what you want. I don't know if you want to get the government too involved, but they're saying something has to be done because we're getting kind of messed over here. You know,
I know we're importing a lot of beef, and
that's
yet
crazy.
We can't sell ours.
Yeah,
So,
that's nuts. I don't
Are you
understand.
suggesting a cow curfew?
Yes, I am.
9
That's what I'm
o'clock on the
doing.
9 o'clock on the weekdays,
Yep.
midnight on the weekends.
That's it. Well, you know, I've read a stat that most of the beef produced in the United States, I think it was most of the beef. It was a huge number, comes from producers that have 50 head or less. So it's not from the gigantic, King ranches and things like that. It's people like you and people around here, and so they're feeling that when they're not getting paid.
Sure.
You guys run a little cafe out of there too?
Yeah,
Pizza and
yeah,
stuff?
we got a little kitchen.
Yeah.
We started doing pizzas on the weekend here a couple years ago, and that's done pretty good.
Yeah, y'all should expand into Leonard. Leonard needs another pizza place. How does that work? What is there do y'all work with a vendor there? Or
No, well, we just kind of developed that little pizza myself. I went out and found some crust that's appreciated.
You're
It's
chef too?
Huh?
You're a chef too?
Well, I wouldn't call it
raising
that.
cattle,
You wearing an A&M
I
hat?
think it's kind of dumb luck. But I found a little crust that's simple. You can't really screw up, and
Bet
I got to
could.
thinking, man, what's the best pizza sauce? And to me, it was always Pizza Hut. So I went out and I tried to do some ingredients around, and I got pretty close.
Hey,
Pretty close.
Google's
so I made
an
my own
amazing-
sauce. Yes, it is.
amazing resource.
So I made my own sauce, and it took us about a year to kind of come around with a good pizza. But yeah, we do that on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. And
Cool.
I learned that from R.C. Kuhn here in town. So
Oh,
you
man, he
you
was
can
on the
sell
store-
the same amount of pizzas in three weekend nights as you can 7 days a week.
Yeah.
You just cut out a lot of the.
a lot of the
you know,
overhead there.
A small
Yeah.
town, you're going to burn them out. So
He was on the show too.
yeah, Dad taught me that he learned from R.C. So
Yeah. Right on. That's cool.
RC's got a lot of wisdom behind him.
I'm
He's
sure
been
he
there,
does.
done that.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
a couple months ago,
Couple
I
months
guess.
ago.
Yeah, it was great.
He's
Awesome.
a sweetheart of a guy.
We're trying to get him back on too. He wants to come back on.
Yeah.
So we're excited
Oh,
for
neat.
that. And then all this stuff kind of happened.
yeah.
But have you heard the episode?
No, I have not. Dad has. I haven't.
It's good.
No,
Yeah.
did you hear it?
He did a good job.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason he wants to come back on is because we didn't even touch on, just a thimble of what he has to
I saw
talk
him the
about.
next day at Quick Check, and he was like, I came up with all kinds of stuff in my mind after I left, and he wanted to get back out. So I said, we'll
Yeah.
come back in, and then this all kind of happened. So hopefully we'll get him back on soon.
Leonard's most senior man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
We,
is.
we got him just before his birthday.
I heard Fannin County's most senior man. Is that
It
true?
might be.
I'm
It
not
would-
sure about that. But
Wouldn't shock me. I wonder how
Might
we
have
go
to look
about
that up.
finding that out.
Got to be a record somewhere.
Somewhere. Sure. Well, now I made the joke about Leonard having all these pizza places. Now I kind of want to come try their pizza.
So what's your, you have a signature pie or anything, or
I just
personal favorite maybe?
I just kind of started out like $10.99 a cheese, and then you build it yourself. $1 each meat and
Yeah.
Pepperoni,
you do-
mushroom, and jalapeno.
Oh,
Y'all do that?
Yeah,
That's
that's
my-
my favorite.
That's my
Pepperoni
favorite.
and jalapeno.
Pepperoni, mushroom, jalapeno option. That's probably the best combo.
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
and
my
heartburn.
Yeah, it's worth it though.
Yeah, it is good.
I'd say the Loft does pretty good pizza too.
I haven't tried it. I haven't
Yeah.
tried it.
Have you been over there?
I have not.
It's a cool place, man. Yeah, I like it. You've been over
I've heard
there,
of
haven't
it.
you? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good, but it's kind of a hike from y'all.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
it turns
Yeah.
out being a long way from my house,
Yeah,
and you're not much
Yeah.
further.
It can.
yeah. I'm pretty much in Randolph.
I think about
already,
it being
so-
close. It's not far for you, or not close for you either.
No, but it's definitely closer
Yeah.
than y'all. So, well, yeah. So how did that come about? Was that just like just keeping things fresh and just trying to
Well,
keep people interested?
There's let's see. There's 3 places in Blue Ridge you can get a burger and fries and stuff like that, and the taco.
Papa Lopez.
Yeah, Papa Lopez up the street.
Yeah.
I thought, well, what do we not have? So we don't have pizza. Pizza. Everybody loves pizza.
Sure.
So
It's a good draw too.
yeah. So
Get people in the store.
thought, well, yeah, let's try to kick that in there, and got it going. It's done okay.
That's good.
You know, it's done pretty good.
Nice little chill spot too. You got little tables and booth
Yeah.
areas.
Dad built all that.
Yeah, it looks good.
He did.
I like
He
I like
kinda-
going in there. It's a good, just casual, comfortable vibe.
You
Yeah.
copied
Like you
those
can have a drink or.
school desks from
Ernie's Barbecue in Greenville.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Kind of looked at them and I thought I can do that.
I imagine you got a little picker in you.
Yeah,
Is that
a little
true?
bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
I mean,
yeah.
judging from what we're gonna get into next, your setup out in Pike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, is it your master plan, Randy?
Well, it kind of started. This all started back when we were seniors and we got to go to Colorado. Back then
When you were seniors.
in high school,
Okay.
Mr. McClendon
All right.
thought that, and it was true. Back in those days, a lot of people didn't get to go out of the state of Texas. So he wanted every kid to see Colorado. He loved Colorado.
Very cool.
I concur with that.
So we got to go to the Flying W Ranch in Colorado Springs, I believe it was. And they served a not so great barbecue meal, but they had Western
Sure.
cowboy songs. It was just so entertaining, so great. We had so much fun. And I always wanted to do that in Texas. And so I got together with a buddy of mine, and Aaron helped me cook, and we did a little chuck wagon dinner and served some chicken fried steaks that night. And we got up and I did some poetry, and my buddy sang, and it was fun. And so we continued with that for a while, and then we started hiring entertainment, and did that for a while. We never made any money.
Yeah.
But it's fun though.
Yeah, but the old Church of Christ building in Valdosta came up, and we negotiated to get that thing, and we moved it over there.
Cool.
And we did a few shows, well, probably 10 or so shows, maybe more than that. And we'd serve a ribeye dinner with it, and had some pretty good entertainment for cowboy type entertainment. And kind of got tired of that because I was working everybody to death and we weren't making any money. So somebody wanted to do a wedding up there, and
Did you have a light bulb moment?
light bulb moment. So
Nice.
they did, and before the week was out, we had another one that wanted to, and so we got really busy for 3-4 years.
What
there.
year? What time frame was this?
Gosh, it's been 10 years since we moved that building. Isn't it?
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
Y'all were a little ahead of the curve then, because
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
a saturated
No,
market.
it is.
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
completely
Popping up
saturated.
everywhere.
There's 2 or 3 on that 981 right
Yeah,
there. So.
yeah, we've fallen off a good bit.
What kind of music you booking?
we were booking cowboy music back in the day.
Okay.
You know, cowboy songs and Western music.
Yeah, I know JDK's played out there, right?
Yeah, JDK's played there.
Yes,
Any other names we might know?
Zane Williams.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Nicest guy in country music, they say.
Brian Burns and Davin James played one
Yeah.
night.
Cool.
Quaby Sisters.
Yeah.
My favorite was Waddy Mitchell, the poet from Arizona.
Ah,
Yeah, he was great.
It's all very dance hall style. It's in the old church.
Yeah.
It's wooden
Yeah.
floors, and it's very good.
awesome.
It's a very cool vibe.
Yeah, got good acoustics in there, I've heard.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where all the shows are in the church then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we pretty much quit doing that and just did the weddings. And now we don't have as many weddings as we used to because, like you say, it's
Oh yeah.
market saturated. So.
And
Yeah.
a lot of them weddings are getting pushed off this year.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Did you see who is it? Pabst? Is it Pabst? No, Busch Light is giving free beer for people whose wedding got pushed off, like a year's supply
wow.
of beer.
Wow.
I don't know. Like, I'm not a Busch Light fan, but I
Could
could
be.
if it's
Might
free. you
Could
know.
be.
You're gonna get engaged now.
Yeah, like me and Ashley need to get split up for a minute. And,
So you got a nice little connection on the meat there back in the day. Then was
Yeah,
that
we did.
was that the
One complimented the
yeah,
other.
that
It
that,
sure
that
did.
makes a lot of sense, right? If you're
Yeah.
doing a ribeye dinner, you can double up on your order and
Yeah.
have a good time on the farm, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You guys are all having fun doing this, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Is it all family run mainly, or you guys have good family friends, or
Yeah.
how's it working in employment?
Family and friends,
Yeah.
yeah. had a buddy of mine that, like I said, sang and played, and he helped a lot. He's a good cook, and so we made it all work.
Cool.
Yeah.
You said something about poetry. What's your interest in poetry?
Cowboy poetry, huh?
Cowboy poetry, yeah. I was watching Johnny Carson
Okay.
years ago when Waddy Mitchell came on and did some poetry, and Johnny Carson was a guy that he liked all kinds of entertainment, and he'd have those guys on quite regular. And so I never thought that I'd get to have Waddy out, but we got to have him out, and I wrote a couple of little poems and recited a lot of poetry, and never did really get good at it, but I
Had
like
some
it.
fun, though.
Yeah, I had some fun. I like it.
And we had handlebar mustaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to get one going. I'm going to shave all this, but it's not.
Randy, you've got an iconic mustache there. What's it called? Is there a name for it?
Is that a Fu Manchu? Is that a Fu Manchu?
I don't know what it would be.
You used to have didn't you used to have
Yeah, the wax, and you'd
the wax? Yeah.
twist them and kind of turn them up, but it's too much trouble, and I'm just too lazy to shave it off.
Yeah. You've kind of got a well-rounded skill set there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A poet, grocer,
Cattleman,
cattleman,
Middleman, yeah.
hay hauling.
What kind of cattle you running?
dabbling the donuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
He used to have a hay hauling crew in high school.
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you probably
That's-
did a lot better than we did.
Yeah, we hauled a bunch of hay when I was
Oh.
kids.
That's
That's some summer.
When's the
work
last
right
time
there.
you hauled hay? Square bells, like
Yeah.
hoofing 'em up?
Nobody does square
It's a
bells
good
much
question.
anymore, unless it's horse hay, I
Too
guess.
much work.
Yeah.
I think the last I hauled was in 76.
square bells yourself,
Yeah.
throwing them up.
Yeah.
70. That's pretty good. Mine was last year.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta get on that round bell
Yeah,
wagon.
Dad gets mad every once in a while.
Yeah.
Makes squares.
I was in high school, and my dad and I stopped somewhere and got we had like a bad ham sandwich, and we had to haul some hay, but we did not have the correct intestinal fortitude to be hauling hay. Man, I'm gonna tell you that was a miserable day. Hold on one second. Yeah. Anyway, I had to chastise Matthew there. Anyway, I asked you what kind of cattle are you running?
It's just a mixed herd.
Sure.
Actually, we started with some longhorns,
Oh, okay.
and for the look for
Sure.
the wedding venue,
Yeah.
and then I took some offsprings to the sale barn, and decided that I couldn't keep that up.
Yeah.
So we got a black bull and pretty much bred the longhorn out of them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's funny because now you can anything that's black you can call Angus.
Yeah.
That's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
It might not be an Angus, but it's got a black hide. So that's So just commercial cow calf.
Yeah.
then?
Yeah. Just,
I've got a friend that does longhorns, and he does like show quality longhorns.
yeah.
And he says you need to get in the longhorn business, and like, man, that's a game I can't get because it's all like rich people that buy from each other,
Yes,
and you know, like you see me from
Any
Bannon
opportunity in
County
having a
showing up.
longhorn and just renting it out for parties?
Probably.
I think there's probably some
Might be.
market there.
Might be.
There's no might do with it.
There's some longhorns out 78 north of town here.
Some next to you guys.
Yeah.
On that big old.
They are
Fisher
good
place.
looking.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
good
they are.
looking.
They are
But
pretty.
Boy, they don't bring anything at regular sale, do they?
No, you got to be in the registered end of it.
That's it.
Is there anything else coming up? You guys working on anything? Any big plans? Just sticking with the cows in the store right now?
Yeah, nothing in the works.
Cool. Still going up the lake?
I haven't been.
You haven't? Yeah, I haven't either.
No, we Shane and I sold our boat, so
Oh, no. I see Shane at the gym
yeah,
from
and
time
of
to
course
time.
He bought another one and I didn't. So
Yeah. I thought he's been going.
Oh
He's been
yeah,
saying
he,
he's been
he
there.
bought a house up there,
Okay, yeah.
so he's doing pretty good. But
Cool.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I want a boat. I want a pontoon boat.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
This
hope
is-
to get one eventually.
This is
you
the
know, get back
pontoon
into it.
master right here for a solid decade and a half. What? We had some good times up there.
Oh yeah, had a lot of good times.
I got a magnet for magnet fishing. Are you familiar?
No, I'm not.
But I want to go up there to Highport with my folks have a pontoon up there now. It's a big magnet, big probably 20-pound magnet. But you can just drop it down and just fish things off of the bottom of the lake.
Okay.
Oh,
What's the best thing you've got?
Pretty neat.
A
DVD
DVD player at Hangman or Lowbridge out here. Pulled a DVD player up out of it, but I've pulled up a little pond behind my house, like a CB antenna, a knife. I mean, all kinds of goofy
That's
stuff.
pretty neat.
But I'd love to go up to Highport or the islands,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
fish around with that thing. So one day,
I'm sure
soon.
there's a lot of things get dropped on their way back in.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Imagine.
You probably pull garbage up all day.
Yeah.
Some interesting stuff. I want to pull some phones up. Just
One time when I was a kid, we were skiing on the Highport side, if you will, but we were staying at Eastburns, and it blew up a cloud. And my cousin and I, Brad Evans, we were skiing behind the boat. Well, my uncle just kept going. Well, we had to get across that, the big open water, and we went across. Now, the waves would come up so high that we'd lose sight of the boat, and our ski rope would go under the waves, so we
Slice
knew we
through it.
couldn't fall.
Yeah.
So we made it. Took us about 30, 40 minutes to get across.
Man.
Our legs were quivering, but
Yeah.
that was scary when you're a kid. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he knew we wouldn't fall.
Hoping.
Kids are durable.
We're here.
Yeah.
We got 5 questions we do
Okay.
with our interviewees, if you have or have not heard. So we're gonna run through this little jar, pull out 5 questions, and see what you guys say.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yep.
Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. You have anything that you want to add maybe? I mean, anything at all. If you had anything in mind. I didn't know you had a relationship with RC, and we can definitely come back for another episode too if you want to get into some stuff.
Well, the only thing we left out on my part was I was raised on a dairy farm.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to be in the dairy business. And my parents knew better, and they pretty much kept me out till I got financially able to do it myself. So we built a barn and started milking cows, and lasted about 3 years. Couldn't pay the bills.
That's some work too, though.
Yeah. But anyway, we made a nice house out of the barn, and it all worked out.
That's some donut hours.
Yeah,
You know.
it is. It is.
Christmas mornings.
Yeah. So were they Holsteins or?
Yeah.
Holsteins. The people milk other cattle though, right? Too, like jerseys,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
I had a few jerseys,
Yep.
trying to get the butter fat up, make the milk bring a little bit more. But when I was a little kid, my dad, back in those days, it was just a discovery, basically, to figure all that out. And
sure.
they milked most anything.
Right. Yeah. Anything that could
It was
make a
rodeo.
bag, huh?
Yeah, it was a rodeo. And then later on, they bought heifers out of the north, and it got easier, and the cows were a lot tamer. So it was learn how to feed better, and so
The science behind it now, especially stuff A&M's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really impressive.
Yes.
With what they know with the animal husbandry, they call it. I believe. Yeah. So
Have you seen the video of the guy milking the almonds?
no.
Like acting like he's milking almonds. He was trying to get the milk out of here. It's a funny video. Just imagining somebody milking an almond.
why don't you kick it off, Matthew?
I'll kick it off. I got this is one of my favorite questions. What is the furthest north, south, east, and west that you've traveled?
Well, north.
North.
We went into Canada.
Okay.
What part of Canada? Central Time Zone or
We flew into Calgary,
okay?
and then we took
It's Alberta, right?
Then we took a bus across to Vancouver.
Oh,
When the
I hear
World's
that's beautiful.
Yeah. That bus trip was great.
I bet.
It was really great.
That was probably crazy scenic.
Yes. We got to stay on Lake Louise
Oh yeah.
and visited the ice fields, and east we went to Maine one time, and west went to California. Then we went to Hawaii one time. So south went down to Guanajuato, Mexico, which is of course south of Mexico City.
Okay.
How
That-
much
that was a
would it
trip.
take for you to do that this day and age?
Don't think I'd.
What
We-
was your business there, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a Mexican
That's an
boy
interesting
working for
Mexican
us.
town. Yeah.
Yeah, and we went down to Scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We out of
Small
Mexico.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
What's the countryside like there? Is it kind of jungle forest?
it was very lush. The corn was probably at least 8 feet high.
Oh my
where they were.
goodness!
Wow.
Yeah, and avocados everywhere, and it wasn't improved much, but it was nice. And when we came out of Mexico City going south, there's lots of cardboard shacks just all over those hills out there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty rough looking.
That was in what year?
I guess 98, 90. You know, I had this. Did I have the store then? I think we had the store. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 78, 79, 80, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, the bus stopped, and I looked out the front window, and there's a guy standing up there with a machine gun.
Mm-hmm. I have
and
a
I
very
think
similar
things
story.
are getting serious here.
Yeah.
But we went on down and visited, and she made us tacos. His wife made tacos, and my wife told me, she said, don't eat those tacos, those lettuce she washed in that water.
I'd have been like, I'm eating it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd eat it too.
Well, that's exactly what I did.
It's worth it. Whatever happens, it's
Yeah.
worth it.
So we got back to Mexico City, and I lost it right there in the downtown area.
Did you?
Nobody noticed.
Nah, nobody noticed.
Got the old Montezuma's Revenge, they call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was 2, 4, 6 of us, I guess. And we got in this little, it's like a Fiat or something. It was a small vehicle. And the driver,
Right.
and he had his son with him. So we all crammed in that car, just couldn't breathe. And we drove,
Nissan Sentra.
yeah, something like that. We drove probably 5 miles. And when we got it, the kid, he didn't get in. But when we got there, the kid opened the door for me. So he rode on top.
Oh, wow.
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 It was interesting.
Where in Maine did y'all go?
We went to Martha's Vineyard, or close to it. And then I have a niece up there, and at the time, and I can't remember.
Was it just vacation style?
Yeah.
Y'all just went up there?
Yeah.
No.
Cool.
I've never been to Maine. My wife has, and she said it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Most of it's basically like a wild game reserve. I mean, it's very not populated.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aaron, north, south, east, west.
Not so much. Let's see. South would be Cancun.
Okay.
Let's see. East would probably be the French Quarter in Louisiana, and west would, I guess, far west I've ever been is probably Lubbock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then north would probably be Colorado, I guess.
Okay.
That's about it. Yeah, pretty tight.
Yeah.
Tight area. I'm fine with that though.
Love
You like the
Colorado.
beaches, you like the mountains, you like the party style, and you like
Lubbock.
Lubbock.
Yeah,
you
I went to Lubbock
but
for
you're
a
wearing an A&M
graduation,
hat.
so-
Yeah, I guess you gotta go
Yeah.
out there at some point.
Yeah.
I like Lubbock, man. I'm a fan, to be honest.
Larry Joe Taylor is this weekend, or was supposed to be,
So,
obviously.
yeah, I guess it would have been.
Oh, you guys go?
We haven't been. No.
Oh, I figured you
No,
might
we-
have been on your radar.
Getting a little older.
Yeah,
A little
no
older,
doubt,
so
no doubt.
gotta
Understood.
give certain things up, you know.
Understood. Go ahead.
All right, second question. This one comes up a lot, and I'm a fan of it. What weird food combinations do you enjoy? I've got one that I don't think I brought up. I like Cheeto sandwiches, and
That's
you
a
can't
tough
toast the bread. It's got to be like Nature's Own honey wheat.
Yeah.
Some Miracle Whip with a little bit of like hot sauce of your choice, like Red Devil or something, and then Cheetos. I'm a fan.
Our butcher, he likes Cheetos puffs and a hot dog bun.
Oh, I can see that.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a special diet, I
Strong
guess.
move.
I don't know.
Anything weird?
Nothing weird?
I don't have anything.
I don't know that I
Ribeyes
do.
and marshmallows or something? like
No,
that?
no.
I like blue cheese on a ribeye.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no
that-
doubt.
I learned that in Mexico, actually.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
was blown away.
When's the last time you did a lap
A running lap?
in town?
Oh, cruising
little
lap.
lap
For the-
around
yeah.
town.
For the
Okay.
sake of doing a lap.
I see.
You're like, you know what? I'm gonna make the big square lap, not the square, but the big square lap.
Oh, man.
Could you say you've just done a lap anytime soon?
I'm probably going to do one today when I leave.
Probably 01. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
It's been a while for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Here, this one comes up. I like this one too, especially since y'all are BILs. What is your first memory of Leonard?
Yeah.
I'm always interested in this one.
Mine was, and I can't say the words on this microphone, but we were coming into town on the school bus, and the Dixons lived right outside of town here, just across past the underpass a little bit, and Robert Dixon was the baby, his first year in school. And his mother whipped him all the way to the bus and shoved him on, and he said lots of things coming down that aisle.
That was your first memory?
Yeah.
Hey, not to sidestep, but you you mentioned Mr. McClendon.
Yes.
Do you want to speak to him? I know he was pretty well known around town, right, for a long time.
Yes.
Would you like to say anything about him? He sounded like he made a little impact on you.
Yeah. Well, he was a class guy, I thought, and I never. He and my dad. Well, let me back up. We were coming to town to school one day, and we rode the motorcycle. I had an old humpy tank Yamaha motorcycle, and it broke down. Well, we made it to Crawford's, right across the street. Yeah, across the street. And we were in there trying to figure out how to get to school, and he walked in. And he saw us standing there, and he expelled us. He said, "You boys just going home." So I called Dad and told him, and boy, here he come. But Dad never went to school, but he did that day, and they had a pretty good argument. And it's funny later on that they traveled to Colorado many, many times together, and the Galdens and Mr. McClendon and my dad, they had a great time.
Cool.
In those later years.
Cool.
My dad was 82, pulling a gooseneck camper in Colorado.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's good intestinal fortitude, because I
Yes,
get up
it
there
is.
in my own car and I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's it for me. Last question.
Yeah, I've got one question.
Oh, wait. We didn't hear Aaron's first memory.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess the very first memory of being in Leonard was either at my Aunt Gail's house or here in front of her grocery store.
Right here?
Which is this building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, being on the sidewalk, and her and Dad would be in there talking for a good while, and I just hanging out on the sidewalk. And then I guess the second memory would be first day of school here in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I
Cool.
guess that would.
I like how this building pops up in some of
It
these,
really does.
Yeah.
these interviews.
Popped up a lot more than I expected it to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, she had that deli here for 4 years or so, didn't she? Something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're trying to get, stuff like that, stories like that. And
Yeah.
I guess I got one more question. Pretty straight up question here. When's the last time, if ever, have you driven off with a gas tank in your pump, or the gas pump in your tank?
oh man,
I haven't done that yet.
Never done it?
Not yet.
I did
Not
it
yet?
this week.
Did you really?
Oh no.
I'm
Did I
embarrassed.
just call you
about
out?
this.
I didn't know that.
No, I knew it. I actually knew it before it popped. I got in my truck. Excuse me, I was actually in my wife's car. Got in my wife's car. I was filling her car up. I went inside and I bought some stuff, and I came out and I was getting a text message, and I was looking and I was not paying attention. I got in and I let off the brake, and I went, I didn't take that out. And right before I could apply pressure to the brake, it popped and came off. And I went, so I didn't just want to fix it and leave. So I walked in. I said, do I need to do anything special? I don't know.
No,
You
just
know?
go.
They're like, just poke it up in there. So I walked back out. And I
Oh, you do?
stuck it
You can do it yourself?
Yeah, you can do it yourself. It's easy. But I was like, I stuck it up in there, and people were looking at me. I was like, man, I'm an idiot. I've never felt so
Embarrassing.
small. Yeah, except when I mispronounced that word last week.
Djibouti.
Yeah, it's terrible. Anyway,
Randy, you said that's a no for you?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Okay. I've done it once. It was about 2 years ago.
well,
First
that makes
time ever.
twice for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could put it back yourself.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a quick
Good to
connect.
know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
I
told-
won't be
they
so
told me-
scared to do it.
They,
Yeah,
they told me
absolutely.
to just leave it there. I was freaked out. I thought I'd
Yeah.
broke
Oh, me
up.
too.
Like it was going to cost them money or something.
Yeah, I'm
no.
going to get sued.
No, it was almost
trip.
magnetic. It just popped in.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
good enough.
If you're an idiot like me, it's good information.
Everybody's an idiot once.
Yeah. Or twice.
Most people twice. That about does it, fellas. We appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah.
If either one of you ever want to come back, you're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
All right.
I've talked to Aaron about the scavenger hunt and having Branscome be the what I'm going to call the root beer,
The
root beer selection. But I've got it still written up that I want to talk to you about
Okay.
after
Yeah,
this.
absolutely.
But we're going to work that in too.
All right.
Yeah, but I appreciate you guys coming on. If you ever want to come back and chat, come up with some stories, or if you want to share something,
Yeah.
More than welcome.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
James?
No, that's it. I guess that's it. Thanks for coming in, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
All right.
Shout out to 903 Broadband. We'll be getting this up on the airwaves right after this. Thanks to them.
The internet waves.
The internet waves. Local people. How's it go?
Local internet, local people. Is that it?
Where's my copy points?
Man, I'm
It's
sorry.
local internet from local people.
We've been doing this a year
And
almost.
you know the phone number, James, right?
Nope.
It's 855-903-FLASH.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Oh.
So check out the 903 Broadband. They're right here in town. They're helping out with the Wi-Fi.
That's it.
Thanks, guys.